Hello, everybody. This is Alan Urizar, and welcome to the webinar today. It's October 1st, so it's another great Monday for me, and I hope you guys are doing great. And I want to welcome everybody. So, Jeff, welcome, Brittany. Um, I'm not sure if it's Maja or Maja. Clara, how are you guys? Marius. I hope you guys are doing great and welcome to today's webinar. Today we're going to be talking about building a brand and with your Amazon products. So I hope you guys like this content and we're going to do a presentation first and then we're going to go over Q&A. So I hope you guys are listening. You guys can hear me okay. I'm testing a new microphone, so I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me well and clear. So if you can let me know if you can hear me okay, and I'm just gonna do a quick test here on my computer and clear. Yeah, I can hear myself. I think we're doing great. And welcome again, everybody. Sounds great, loud and clear. Good, perfect. Thank you, guys. So let me go on my computer and I'm gonna start the presentation so we can all start this um, this presentation today. And we're going to be talking about building a brand for your Amazon products. So the first thing that I want to make sure is that we understand why. It's very important that we understand why do we want to build a brand on Amazon. I know that a lot of people, our main focus for a lot of people is just launching products on Amazon, and that's a great thing to build a business where you can launch products and start selling on Amazon. But we also want to start thinking about building a brand, and here's a few reasons why I think it's very important. One of them is um, it's never been a very time to leverage your products on Amazon because about 80% of shoppers use Amazon to discover new products and brands. So that's a very good reason why we want to start launching products on Amazon. And 53.4% of shoppers are more willing to buy a brand that they're not familiar with on Amazon that they would if it was a different platform. So that's a very good reason why we start on Amazon. But when we start thinking about building a brand, um, we have to think about a strong brand allows you to control the buyer's perception. So your business isn't what you say it is what they say it is. And with a strong brand, people will have fewer misconceptions about you, who you are, what you represent, and also the unique benefits of your products for them. And then it also it clearly defines the brand identity to ensure that you're seen the way that you want to be. So basically, there's a big advantage when people start um, when they start knowing your brand, because then you can have a little bit more control. What do you want them to see, what is the marketing message or the story of your brand that you want them to see and start learning about. The other thing is that you can charge a premium. Weak brands often end up stuck on unwinnable price wars, and that's especially on Amazon. If you don't have a good brand presence, and if you're just competing for that kind of products just with other sellers, if somebody starts competing on pennies, they're gonna end up losing big dollars because they start dropping their price. But if your brand is starting to be well known, you don't really have to compete a lot with other sellers that don't have any brand, because a lot of people is going to start following you based on your brand, not just based on your price. So a good brand, it's a brand where your customers connect to you, and your perceived value. It's gonna be higher, and therefore you can charge a little bit more. For example, you know if you buy Nike, it's gonna be a brand that, it doesn't matter what other brands are selling, their prices. If somebody wants a pair of Nike Jordans, for example, they're gonna pay whatever Nike charges for those shoes. It's because people are very loyal to their brand. They're not gonna find that 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 kind of shoe in another brand. So the brand, it's going to represent that you can charge a premium once you have a very good brand, established brand, and people recognize your brand as well. So in short, it gives your customers a great experience, and if you give your customers a great experience, and you beat the competition, you're gonna be able to do it at any price. The next advantage is that you will attract more of the right customers. When you start building a brand and you start targeting, the right customer or the right avatar of your business, you're gonna start attracting better quality customers. It's not just people just buying a widget. It's people buying what the product that a brand has. So those are big advantages of um, of building a brand. And as the playing field becomes more saturated, those without strong brands are going to increasingly struggle to acquire new customers. But successful brands understand that the customer buy products based on emotion and not just in logic. So if you understand who is your target customer, and arm yourself with a powerful brand, and you resonate with them, that's gonna make you stand out from the competitors, and it's gonna bring more customers to your doors. So that's basically one of the benefits. You'll be more memorable. There's a lot of products for one. A lot of different variations for one product. The marketplace is very noisy. So if you don't have a big brand where people start recognizing you, it's you can get lost with so many products that seem similar. So you want to start building that brand, so people start reminding you, not just for the kind of products that you sell, but also for the brand and the story of your brand. So a strong, consistent brand is going to stick on the minds of people, and it's going to make their first impression lasting. So you'll be on the top of mind of the customers the next time they need your product, or when they want to recommend the products to other people. And it also it's going to build, you're going to be able to build loyalty, and of course, you want to get more profits to match that. So without a strong brand, you need to consistently put money into marketing and stay in front of customers. With customer acquisition costs constantly on the rise, you likely be hurting not just your margins, but also your long-term growth prospects. So strong brands, they endear loyalty, and loyal customers are they're gonna be by far the most profitable. If you can get somebody to buy multiple times from you as a brand, that's gonna bring more profits. If you have that kind of people that is loyal to your brand, and they keep coming back, they keep referring people to you. So those are benefits of why it's very important to build a brand, even if you're just starting on Amazon. And another one is you'll gain independence and opportunities for growth. So it's very good that we have a platform like Amazon, where we can start our business, and we can start we can actually build a very big business. But it's always a good idea to start building a brand, because once you start having that loyalty, loyal customers, you're going to be able to expand to different platforms, or to actually have people buying directly from you as a brand, and so you have a lot more opportunities. So that's the step one. Understanding why is very important to start building a brand. Step two, it's gonna be actually, what are the different ways that you can use to start building a brand. And I want to talk about 7 easy ways to start building a brand that it's gonna, that you can start implementing with your products as soon as possible. And this is gonna also help you build on top of your products, build a brand so you can keep moving forward and expanding beyond Amazon. The first one is your packaging. So if I ask you on the screen on option one being a microphone, and that's actually the microphone I'm just testing. So if you see the packaging of this microphone, what does it look better, option one or option two? What do you think looks better for your customers' eyes when they receive the product, they open the box and they see that if they see option one or option two? And I'm sure it's a little bit, there's a little bit of delay, but I'm sure you're gonna say option one. And why? Because packaging is very important for us as sellers. We're gonna give the best impression to our customers, and everything starts on packaging. So you can use your packaging on your pictures, on your listings. So you have to think about that. If you're gonna do some testing, you can probably get away with a poly bag. But if you want to build a brand, if you want to make sure that your customers remember you, you better have a very good packaging that is something unique, something that people is gonna remember, and that you can use as marketing. Because most people are gonna use only pictures of the product, but if you use pictures of your packaging, that's gonna give you an advantage on your marketing as well. So don't forget to include photos on your packaging in your Amazon listing. When customers see retail ready packaging, they will become more likely to choose your product over your competitors, or even just thinking about giving this as a gift because it's ready. It already comes on a very nice packaging, and you can also use your packaging to let people know that they can use your product as a gift as well. Number two, it's product inserts, and that's a very easy way to start building a brand. When you start selling on Amazon, you want to start using these kind of things like inserts. So there's 4 effective ways that you can use inserts in this example. You can include a very short note from the CEO or the founder of the company, where you thank everybody. You give maybe a discount on the next order, or you give a discount, or you highlight your product benefits and uses. You can offer a lifetime warranty when they register their product on your website. So that's one way where you can bring people to register on your website and start building an email list. So and that's gonna give you that's gonna start building that trust with your customers, and it's gonna start building that brand with your customers as well. Another option is you can provide a free how-to guide, recipes, or a PDF download of different ways that they can either use your product, or different ways that they can or different gift ideas that they can use your product for gifting to other people. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these inserts. This is a few ideas that you can use to start thinking about how do you want to bring more value to your customers using these product inserts. The next one is setting up your storefront. And I know most of the Amazon sellers sometimes they don't know that we have an option to use to have a storefront, and you can set it up. It's very easy. I'm gonna show you how to set it up. But that's one way where you can kind of highlight your website even inside Amazon, so you can bring your customers to your website, and you don't break terms of service because you're bringing people to the Amazon website as well. So to do that, you go into the corner of the settings, right on the top right corner. You're going to click on settings. You go down to account info. Once you click on account info, you're going to get another window that is going to have some options. And on now your left side, you're going to see a seller profile. So you click where it says your seller profile. And after you click on that, it's going to give you another window where it's going to list all the different marketplaces where you have access to. And one option on the middle, it's gonna give you an edit option to the store details. So when you click on edit, it's gonna bring you to this page where you can add the name of your store and also the name of your the name that you want to give to your storefront. So it's always going to be amazon.com/shops, and then you can put slash and the name of your store, and that's the link that you're going to be able to use and give other people to bring them to your store, or just to have it as a reference on your inserts where people can see different variations of your product or the other products that you have, but you're sending traffic directly to the Amazon store. So that's how you get that option to work, and you get it set up, and that way you can use that link to advertise it, and that's going to be your storefront inside Amazon. Number 4, it's going to be build a website. So this is a little bit, it gives you a little bit more control, because now you can build a website that is unique looking. It has your own theme, and you can do a lot more things with that. But this is going to be something that you want to do. Once you're ready to have your own e-commerce site, you can start selling products on this website, and you can still use the Amazon FBA option to fulfill all of your items. And the benefits of having a website is that you can start building your loyalty. You can start building an email list. And another thing that is very, very important is you can start retargeting people that goes and visit your website. You can start retargeting these people to show them and promote them, your products and your Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising. You can start using the visitors to your website to retarget them. And you don't have to have like a very very big website. If you have one product, you can build one of these, and you should be able to start implementing all of these and sending people to the website directly to start targeting them. Number 5 is know your customers, and this is something that a lot of people kind of skip this, because we always think, okay, I'm gonna launch a product on Amazon, and I just want an Amazon customer base to be able to buy my products. But we forget that knowing knowing our customers and knowing what kind of customers do we want for our product is going to help us not only on research, on market research at the beginning of your finding your product, but it's also going to help you once you launch your product and once you start building your brand, because you can actually craft all your messages exactly to the kind of people that you want, that that are going to be buying your products. So things that you have to consider is the demographics of your customers, the age, sex, location. You wanna think about the characteristics of these people. What are they looking for? If they have any hobbies, what kind of interests do they have? What kind of people do they follow? And this is all the kind of people that is going to be buying your product. What kind of pains you're gonna be solving with your product? Any objections that they might have, any concerns, any challenges that they have, so you can fix that with your customer. And also, what are the benefits that your product is going to give them? What are the results or the outcomes that they're going to have, or what are they looking for? What are the desires that they have? So you can use that on your marketing for attracting these kind of people. So you have to think about that. Number six is using your past customers to find more of these kind of customers. So, for example, right now, if you go to your seller central, if you've been selling a few products, or if you've been selling already on Amazon, if you go down to your customer or your orders, you're gonna get information of your customers. Of course, you don't have email, but you do have the address of your customers. And sometimes we forget about these things. But if you get the address of your customer and the names, you can make a list of all these customers, address, all the information that you have, and you can bring this to your Facebook ad manager where you can create advertising. And if you go to your audiences, this is a little bit more advanced. But if you already know how to create ads on Facebook, if you go to your audience section on your on your Facebook ad account, you can actually create a custom audience where you can bring information about your customers, like all the information that you might have. Maybe even if you don't have the email, you can bring the name, address, all the information, and you can import all of this to a custom audience on Facebook. And Facebook is going to look for this. It's going to look if they have these customers on Facebook, and if they do, they're going to create an audience where you can later um, create ads and show ads of your products to these customers. Or the other thing that I think it's even better is you can then go to create a lookalike audience. And what the lookalike audience does is Facebook is going to start looking for all of these people. They're going to start looking for a lot more people that are similar to this this pool of people that you have on the main audience. So they're going to start looking for, if your main audience is a 34 to 44-year-old housewife, that lives in $175,000 house or higher, they're gonna start looking for these kind of people. And on Facebook, you can create lookalike audiences of from 1% up to 10% of of the population. And what they do is they start getting the best people that is the most close to the people that you have on your audience, and they're gonna expand that audience to a higher audience. And then once you have a lookalike audience of your, let's say that you have 3,000 people as your audience for your customers, and then you create a lookalike audience that it's gonna expand that to maybe 1 million people that looks just like your customers. Now you can create ads, targeting these million people that is going to be very similar to your customers, or to your 3,000 customers. And now you have a pool of a very big audience where, out of 1 million people that are very similar to your customers, they're going to end up buying your products if you do it the right way. So, and we're going to talk about more specific strategies in a different webinar. I just want to show you how you can kind of use social media and Facebook and Instagram to bring all of these people based on your past customers, if you have any past customers. And this is one of the ways that you can do it. Number 7 is using influencers to find new customers. And I think this is very important because sometimes we worry about, I don't have any customers. How can I bring more customers if I don't really, I'm just starting up. I don't know anybody. I don't know how to do it. So one of the ways that we can do it is by using influencers that have already, a big audience, and we can use them to promote our product. and that way we can start getting more. We can start getting sales and building our brand using other people's audiences. So different ways that you can do it is, or ideas that you can do it is, you can run discount coupons, to this to the influencers audience. You can have giveaway promotions, or you can have the influencer do a product review on your product, and they'll share that with their audience. And you can find influencers, we can find on YouTube, on Facebook. Anybody that has an audience of 100,000 people or even 50,000 people, it's gonna be an influencer, because they're being cultivating this audience, and they have content, constantly. They're creating content to this audience. So if you can contact, let's say your product has to do with something in the beauty niche, and you contact an influencer that has 50,000 people that follow them on YouTube or Facebook. And if you ask them, okay, we can, I have a product that I'm building on Amazon, or I'm launching on Amazon, and I'm willing to give 10 products to your audience. Let's do a giveaway promotion. I'll give you one, and or how much you charge me to promote that to your audience. And these influencers are going to start promoting your product. They're going to bring sales to you, and that's how you can start building an email list. You can start building your brand using influencers to do that. So you can find influencers on Instagram, Twitter, all the social media sites, and that's going to help you start when you don't have anybody, any audience, or you don't have any customers yet. So those are 7 different ways that you can kind of start thinking about building a brand. And I'm gonna go back and go over Q&A, so we can see if you guys have any questions regarding these or any other questions. So let me go back here, and there you go. All right. So let's see if you guys have any questions on this. Georgis, hi, how are you? Georgie says, I won't be able to launch until Q1. What is the drop in sales from Q4 roughly on average? Well, depending on the category, I know that some categories they double or triple in sales for Q4 starting October, and there's certain categories that they even go 4 times, five times more sales. It really depends on the category, but one of the things that I always want to make sure when I'm doing research is, depending on the product that I'm selling, I want to look at the competition, and I want to see at their history. And maybe out of 12 or 15 competitors that you have, a lot of them might be new, but you're gonna have 1 or 2 that you're gonna be able to see their sales history for the last year or year and a half, and you can kind of gauge how much sales they were having for Q4. And the other thing is just looking at other products on that same category or the same niche to see what are the So for example, if everybody is being having a rank of 20,000, or or all of your competitors are having a rank of 20,000, and then on Q4 the rank go to 2,000, you can get an idea of how many sales, or what is the sales velocity for Q4. And then I always want to make sure that I analyze my products, my research. I analyze it on the off months, January through June or July. You want to make sure that the numbers that you're using to on your research are going to be. You want to include all of these numbers. That way, you don't just do a research based on Q4 numbers. But you can definitely get an idea using Keepa and analyzing your competition for last year, for example, and see what was what was the sales on their products, and again, it's gonna be from maybe 2 times up to 4 or 5 times, depending on the category where you are. Dash says how to know if the customer is a repetitive customer. If you sell on Amazon, it's gonna be hard to know. I mean, you have to kind of do it manually. But if you start building a brand and you start, keeping track of your customers, you can actually see, those metrics a little bit better. But that's once you start, bringing people of Amazon to your own list or to your own system and process and e-commerce process, and you're going to be able to get, to see, for example, through promotions, through coupons, you can see, what kind of people are buying more than one time. But it's all going to be all this tracking. You're going to have to do it once you bring people outside of Amazon. That's why being on Amazon is great, but you can scale your business faster and bigger once you start having control of what information you have from your customers. Ivan says, how is Facebook able to match each Amazon customer on their Facebook profile? Based on name and last name, based on address, they can match their users. So you're gonna bring, the more information you can bring to Facebook, the easier it's gonna be for them to actually match their information. But for example, if you don't have their email, the email is gonna be one of the easy ways to kind of match the email they have on their profile. But if you have their name, address, that's what they're gonna use to match customers. TJ Johnson says, what website template would you recommend, for example, Wix? It depends on what is your goal, and if you're gonna be doing it yourself, you want to have something that is easy to use. But for e-commerce, you want to have something that it's that has the shopping cart and all of that automatically. So I know a lot of people, they use Shopify, which is going to be an option to have your own website. You can even have a blog, but it's a fully functional shopping cart and e-commerce site. Other people use WordPress, and WordPress has plugins and different themes that are going to have that option for a fully functional shopping cart, like WooCommerce. All of those themes are fully functional. But if you're going to be doing it yourself, I think it's going to be easier to use something like Shopify. I don't know if Wix has a fully functional shopping cart for e-commerce, but if they do, it's going to be easier because it's very easy to, for you to build pages and all of that. But if you get into WordPress, you're going to need a little bit more technical knowledge. So I would just recommend, any site that has a fully functional shopping cart, and most people end up using Shopify for e-commerce. Brittany says, when setting up your store front link, should it be a lowercase and use the plain the private label brand name? Well, the storefront can be it can be just lowercase. That's just gonna be the link to your it's just gonna be the link, the URL, and then where I show you the name, you can do capitals. Let me see if I can go back here. Okay, so let me. But it doesn't have to be your private label brand name. It can be just your store name. So, for example, right here on the first box, you can put the store name with capitals, and then on the storefront link, that can be all lowercase, and it has to be everything together. And Amazon is going to check the name, and it's going to verify that nobody else is using it and things like that. But this can be just the name of your storefront, like I don't know, your last name creations, or just the name of that you're gonna give to your Amazon store, or it can be your brand name as well if you're just gonna be selling one brand name. Um, Georges, thank you very much. All right, so let's see if you guys have any more questions. Any other questions that we can go over? Um, I don't see any more questions. So I'll give you guys one more second to put more questions here. Um, Wade says, is David Lopez team still helping Jody members to build free product website? Well, it's not. It's part of the bundle. If you purchase the pro bundle, but it's gonna be as part of your bundle, and then as a standalone product. Let me see. Let me just make sure if we still have it. Yeah, we don't have it as a standalone product anymore on our products site. But if you purchase the pro bundle, that's gonna include that service. So right now it's not available as a standalone product. But you can ask Seth. You can send an email to help@justonedime.com and just verify with them if they have it in the website. We don't have it available as a standalone product anymore. Is anyone running into issues with tariffs? Jeff, can you expand on tariffs? I'm not really sure what is that. Are you talking about taxes or tariffs? I don't really know what is that. If you can help me with that a little bit more. Michael says, what other keyword rank tracker tools do you have to choose from other than Helium 10? For keyword ranking, like just a tracker, I've been testing a tool called Seller Dashboard, and they do have that option. Let me see, Seller Board, and they have a keyword tracking. But all of the tools that I've been testing and using are gonna be paid tools, and they don't have just that one tool. AMC Tracker is gonna be another one. AMC Tracker, and that's gonna be they have one tool that is specific to keyword tracking. So I would say maybe those two, AMC Tracker and AMC or Seller Board. Those are the ones that I know that I've tested before. Jeff says the sanctions Trump has put on Chinese imports. Oh, okay. Um, I we Let me see. I talked to somebody else, another coach from Just One Dime, just exactly about that last week, because there's certain laws that are changing, and the only thing we're gonna have to do is if we have to bring our prices up, it's gonna be something that we all have to do, because nobody else is gonna be able to keep selling at the same prices. If we have to put, for example, there's a 10% tax for certain things, and they were talking about even going 35% on certain categories. Uh, but as far as right now, I don't worry about that yet, because it hasn't affected my pricing yet. But I'm sure as soon as we have that affecting our pricing, we're gonna have to raise the prices. But I don't have any issue yet. with the products that I'm sourcing from Amazon, from China. For manual campaign, the words have to be in your listing, correct? Can they be any other as long as they're there? Um, well, if you're gonna be doing if you're doing a manual campaign for exact, yes, you want to make sure that they are on your listing. Now, if you're gonna be doing a broad, uh, Amazon is gonna get from different places, but on the exact, you do wanna make sure that they are on your listing. Now, when you start finding other keywords that are getting traffic or converting to sales, what I do is I analyze them. If I know I can rank or I can compete for those keywords, then I'm gonna add them to my listing. But if a keyword is converting and but it's a keyword that you cannot compete because it's too competitive, I will try putting that keyword on the backend search or just on the description, so it's part of my listing. But I wouldn't focus on that keyword because I know it's gonna be hard for me to rank. But yeah, you wanna have them on your listing for all the keywords that you're using on your exact campaign. Besa says, it is wise to give a discount offer insert coupon in the package if have only one product to start. No, you want to use other. You can use a coupon for a next offer and a next order if you know that the people can buy your product several times, or if people want to buy the product as a gift. So if your product it can be a gift, you can have a coupon code for if you want to give it to somebody, or if you know that your product can be purchased several times. Otherwise, um, the other option that you can do very well is having offering on Amazon. Everybody knows that they have 30 days money back guarantee, but on your insert you can have a lifetime warranty on your product, and have people go to a website and register for that to be activated. And that's one way that you can bring people to your website, and then start building an email list. And then once you have it on your email list, then you can send coupons or promotions for buy another one or buy two more, things like that. It's very interesting that if you do a discount, and you tell people, if you buy two more, I'll give you 15 or 20% more. Even if they don't need it, a lot of people that will go and buy, and take the coupon or the discount, just because it's a discount, and they think about giving it to somebody else, or just having an extra unit for them. So it triggers that interest of people just taking advantage of the discount or the promotion. But you can test both of them. Just having a lifetime warranty, or just giving an extra coupon as an incentive. Austin says, I only have 23 available off of the 300 I sent in. Could that have something to do with slow start on PPC? Austin, you only have 23 units available of 300 that you send into Amazon. Okay, sometimes what happens is when Amazon receives your product, if you send the 300 units to one warehouse, sometimes internally they're gonna have to either move some products around, maybe send them to a different warehouse. So you're gonna see that out of your total, they're gonna have certain amount available, and sometimes it just means that they have just processed 23 out of your whole order, and they're still working on it. One thing that you can do is, if you go to your Amazon, to your Seller Central, and go to inventory, instead of clicking on the first option, which is manage inventory, you go to the second one. It's called manage FBA inventory. That's going to give you a different window that it's going to show you your units, and there's an option that says reserve, and if you click on that option, it's going to show you where is your product currently. So it might tell you, units 300, 2300 available or active, 200 units FC, which is fulfillment center or transfer, and then it's going to tell you, reserve because it's in processing. So it's going to give you a breakdown or where is your product exactly, and that's going to be the best option for you to kind of figure out where is the product. If not everything, it's available right away. KitKat says, "Hi Alan, if you have only one or two products, how do you make your website look robust?" You make it with content. So, for example, you can have only one product, but if you have a very nice website, with a lot of information about your brand, the history of your brand, especially if you have a very good story that you can tell people, you can take them to like that, that whole story process, and then instead of having a shopping cart where you go to the shopping cart and you have only one product. Instead of having that, what you do is you create articles talking about, let's say you're selling this. I just got this on my mail. So you're selling a pair of headsets, but you only have this is your only product. So instead of having a shopping cart, what I will do is I will have, I know this is more for like, doing exercise and maybe running and things like that. So I might have an article talking about, gear needed for, for exercising. And you're going to talk about, when you're doing exercises, you're going to need this kind of gear, and you list your top 5 items that you need. So one of them might be a cell phone, like I don't know, a cell phone or holder for your arm. Another one could be, a pair of good, running shoes, and another one could be, Bluetooth earphones, so you don't have to worry about cabling. And on the when you put the Bluetooth earphones, you can have links to your Amazon listing directly for people to go directly to buy these. Or you can put, you're gonna have Bluetooth earphones, and here's a 10% discounts on this Bluetooth, from Amazon. You send them to Amazon. So instead of having a full shopping cart, you can have articles talking about 10 ways to use your product, or just a full review of your product, or articles where you include your product as a solution or as an accessory or something like that. So you start bringing people to read your articles, or your, let's say you want to do a comparison chart of the best, Bluetooth headphones, for exercising, and you put, these, you have all of these 5 or these 3 different Bluetooth headphones, and one of them is yours. The other ones you can either link them to your to the Amazon, or just have the link from your product, so you don't advertise other products. But a lot of people, they what they do is they use Amazon Associates, which is going to give you commission for anything that the people buy when you direct into Amazon. So they don't really have to buy the same the Bluetooth, but as long as you send them to Amazon, you get a commission. So, and I know a lot of people use those links to kind of track, if people is actually buying from your website. So there's a lot of things that you can do if you only have one product. You wanna use those kind of ideas. Okay. Austin says, the question on the quantity I have available was regarding to the question before. Curious on your thoughts on that. Oh, Austin, I didn't see the other question, Austin. Sorry about that. Um, Austin says, following the new PPC tactics, high bid on 2 main keywords as exact, 20 cents over suggested on remaining relevant keywords as a broad match, still on page 1. My keywords are highly relevant. Okay, where's I only have 23 available from 300 sent in. I'm getting lost on your question, man. Still not on page one. My keywords are highly relevant. Any thoughts? Oh, if your keywords are not on page one but and they're relevant, that means your bid is too low. So just increase another 5 cents and see how many keywords start ranking on page one. Um, and remember that Danilo said that you can go up to $1.20 from higher than the regular bid. So if you're just going 20 cents, you can probably do another 5 cents. Just bring it to 25, or just bring it enough to where your keywords start showing up on page one. And that's probably what's going to happen. You're going to start ranking as soon as you start bringing your bid higher. And one thing that's going to happen is you're going to start seeing some keywords starting to rank on page one, on PPC, and other ones it's going to take too much money to start ranking. So those are the ones that you don't want to, you don't want to bid a lot, because let's say one keyword it takes $4 to start ranking. It's gonna be too expensive. So I just rather have a very low budget on those, and just keep looking for the ones that are gonna start ranking at a price where I'm comfortable. I hope that's what we're talking about here, Austin. Jackson says PPC is still kind of a arcane art where Amazon doesn't really why it works in certain ways. Yeah, that's right. It's but for PPC it is very for me it's straightforward. If your bid is too low, you're gonna start showing up on different on different on other pages. But if it's high enough, it's gonna start ranking on page one. So just increase your listing, little by little until you start showing up on page one. And then the other thing that you want to do is when you're checking on Amazon, try to do it on incognito website, because otherwise it's gonna Amazon remembers your your cookies and your browser, and it might not show you the correct information because they know you've seen that product before. So just open up an incognito website or incognito window, and then do your search in there, and you should be able to see exactly what customers are going to be seeing. Um, so Jackson says, um, Jackson says, I'm not sure if we're talking about the same thing, but I think he's going back to if your product is available on the Amazon. Um, that's what I thought the question was at the beginning, but I think we were talking about PPC. I hope that answers your question, Austin. And I know Jackson is. We're kind of talking about inventory availability on Amazon, and then we talk about PPC ranking for those keywords. I hope you have only one question and not two of them, because they look it looks like we have two different questions. Um, all right. So let's see if there's any other questions I probably missed here. Ivan says, when do you recommend to register your brand with USPTO? At the very beginning, before you bring your first product, or get more sales first and then register your brand? Here's the way I think about registering your brand. Once you have a product that you know that you're going to be launching. So let's say you start looking for products, you do your research, you find a good potential product, you analyze that product, you analyze the competition, and then you say, okay, this is the product I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna start looking at launching. At that point, you can start thinking, if you don't have a brand name yet, you can start thinking about a brand. Now I know this is the kind of product I'm going to be launching. So I know it's going to be on the, it's going to be an electronic category, maybe, or maybe a sports gear, or I know what the category is going to be. So now and I know what the product is going to be. So now I'm going to start thinking about my brand name if I don't have it yet. So the brand. So I start thinking about the brand name. I decide which one's going to be my brand. So now I can go and I can start the process of trademarking my brand, because that's what you're going to trademark. You want to trademark the brand so you can protect the products under that brand. And you know, I usually well, I waited it until I knew what the product that what my first product was going to be before I thought I started looking at trademarking my brand. And and that's what I would recommend. That way, at least the category where you're gonna be selling. And if you just think about just a general category, then you can start before. But I will wait until you have your first product chosen, and you know what category you're gonna be selling, and you know the brand name. So that's how we'll do it. How many follow? Yeah. Wei Hang says, how many follow-up emails are allowed by Amazon? I thought only one, but sometimes I can still receive multiple follow-up emails sent out by Amazon by some sellers after I made the purchase. I don't think Amazon has a limit, but what I try to do is always do maybe. I usually do two. Sometimes I do three, depending on the product. And I don't want to do more than that, because you have to remember that as soon as you purchase the product, or as soon as the customer purchases a product, they're going to receive an email from Amazon saying, thank you for your purchase. And then they're going to receive another email saying that the product is being shipped. And then they're going to receive a product saying that the product is being delivered. So there's three emails that Amazon is going to send automatically. So after those three emails, what I like to send is I like to send one email 1 or 2 days after they receive the product. So after it's being delivered. Why? Because they got three emails from Amazon, so the number four is gonna be mine. And you have to focus on giving, making sure that everything's good. If they have any concerns, just kind of customer service email. And then at the end, you can always ask them if they're happy with the product. They can help you by by reviewing it. But you don't want to ask directly to the customer, I want you to review my product. It's always, if you're happy with the product, we appreciate it if you give us a review on the product, or if you let us know what do you think about the product, and you give them the link for the review. And then, so I send one email 1 or 2 days after delivery, and then 7 days after delivery. So I make sure after 5 days or 7 days, I want to make sure if everything is okay with the product, if they still are happy with the product, if they don't have any concerns or any problems, maybe if they were able to use the product with no issues, and then I will ask again for a review. And that's pretty much all I do. Just two emails, because you have to remember the customer got total of 5 emails. And what a lot of people do, and I think it's a mistake, is they send an email as soon as the customer purchase. They send a confirmation email. You don't have to send a confirmation email, because Amazon is already doing that. And then if you send too many emails at the beginning, if people start getting 3, 4, 5 emails in the next few days, they're gonna opt out very, very quick. And that's what a lot of people is doing. They're opting out very quick because they're getting too many emails. They get 2, 3 emails from Amazon, and they get another 3 emails from the seller, and the emails are asking for reviews. So they don't like it, and they just opt out. But if you do a total of 5, or maybe you can do three emails. One, after 15 or 20 days of purchase or delivery, or and it's just a follow up. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're happy with the product. Just let us know if you have any questions, and let us know if you're happy with the product. Give us your thoughts, and you send them to the review link. And that's gonna be enough because you're getting 6 emails for each order that you generate on Amazon, and that should be enough for everything. So I hope that helps, Wayne, and you're welcome, KitKat, and I'm happy that you guys were able to make it here today. I hope that this training on how to build your brand it's helpful, and I'm working on getting a strategy webinar for different ways of selling on different ways of doing marketing on Facebook. So I'll be bringing those webinars as soon as I have them. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great week. And just let us know if you have any questions in the Facebook group. And I'll see you guys next Monday. So thank you guys for being here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.